Hey y'all, back with another video with newest Team LoCoFit coach, Lauren D'Erico. So she's been here for the past few days, so it's been really hard, obviously, with two Laurens in the house.
Yes.
So Ryan started calling us blonde and brunette. Blonde and brunette,
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not even brunette, but I
Whatever.
guess, whatever.
I adopted two new nicknames. I got Blonde and Keto Queen this weekend, so no Lauren.
Yeah, we don't even need to call her Lauren anymore, that's just her new name.
Yes.
But, so do a little bit of an introduction to yourself for
Yeah.
everybody listening.
So I've been a client of Lauren's for about 3 years now, and I am currently on my way to becoming a registered dietitian, so I have to finish up an internship for that. Hair flip. But I am the newest coach here, so taking clients now. It's been incredible. I do have my master's in exercise science, just like Lauren. So last up is just getting this license for registered dietitian. So that's where I'm at right now. Super pumped to be in Tampa. And yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah, so I've known Lauren, like she said, for many years. I've coached her to stage and just seen kind of her evolution as a student as well as an athlete, and just so excited. She's been an amazing addition. So everybody's just, team is rocking and rolling, and it's been a really good first month.
Yeah.
Just so excited, and we wanted to come, have her come down, did a photo shoot, had like a party, did the whole thing, just like some team stuff. And now we wanted to do some content for you guys. So today's video is going to be all about meal plans. Like, should you be on a meal plan?
Yep.
And we wanted to kind of just go through some pros and cons, because obviously we both coach this. Lauren will be a registered dietitian, so she's had a lot of schooling in this area.
Yeah.
And my research actually focused on meal plans versus flexible dieting.
Yeah.
So first up, let's talk about the pros.
Yeah, so a lot of people that start out kind of want some structure. So meal plans are a great way to provide structure to people that have never dieted before, or even just personality-wise, some people fit better with that. So it kind of shows how a meal should be structured, like here's your breakfast, here's your lunch, here's your dinner, here's the macronutrient distribution, and it takes the thought out of it for a lot of people. So I find that it can help people sometimes adhere for a little longer, because they don't have to think about it. This is what I'm eating. And then it also gives great awareness to portion control and like serving size, because most people have no idea how much or how little they're consuming. So,
or of what foods.
Yes, exactly. So like, here's 4 ounces of chicken, what it actually looks like.
Yeah, it's very challenging for people, especially if they're not, like, we're so used to like our little niche, and we've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
But some people are just starting out, right? So that's what really opened my eyes during my research, and I will forever be grateful for those people that were in my study.
Yeah.
And I like pride on the people who were doing the meal plan, because I was just like, we couldn't give them I wasn't giving them coaching, because that's not fair. Like, so it's not that. I was just asking them so many questions. Basically, the people who were thriving, I was like, why do you like this? Blah, blah, blah. And they were, new. Hey, I didn't know what to eat. I didn't know how much to eat. And so we're going to go into the cons. It's not a long-term solution, but sometimes it's really, really effective. And also I see this at the really high end too. So like, when I compete, I'm not sure if you do this too, but you kind of probably inadvertently do this.
Yeah.
You kind of create your own meal plan for the
sure.
week, because you don't want to think about it.
Right.
And we have clients who want that too. Like, hey, like, I'm really busy or whatever. Like, I just kind of want to eat the same thing. And we're not going to create the meal plan for them, because there's some issues there.
Right.
But we can say, hey, send us what you want to do, and then we'll look it over.
Kind of tweak it a little bit. And I think too, especially for that higher level, the macronutrient distribution just gets so much more important. So if somebody's kind of struggling with hunger levels and things like that, a solid meal plan that's consistent every day can kind of be good to mitigate a little bit of that. So
yeah, and just because you're not on a meal plan doesn't mean that you're just eating haphazardly. I see people do that because they think that that's what macros is, and that is not a good thing. Like, you are never going to feel satisfied. Your performance is not going to be great. Your recovery is definitely not going to be there.
Yeah.
There's just going to be a lot of things that are out of whack. So just because you're not on a meal plan, basically somebody says, here's a sheet, you need to eat this, you still need to regulate when and what you're eating. So that's not what we're saying at all. But what are some of the cons, would you think, with the meal plan? So
with the meal plan, I find anyways that it is hard for people to kind of learn as they go. So it's like, it's very structured. This is what you're eating at this time, this time, this time. So therefore people don't really understand what foods swap out for what. Like, okay, I'm having a half a cup of oats at this time. I don't know, like, does 2 pieces of Ezekiel bread equal that? And they don't really get to learn substitutions. And therefore, with some population, that can become sort of restrictive, because they don't really trust themselves to make those adjustments. I would also say that, especially if somebody is having like gut issues because there's a lack of variety, or maybe you're eating the same thing for too long for your body, and everybody is different with that. But if you can develop a food sensitivity, say you're eating chicken 3 times a day, every day. We would never do that. But if you were, you can develop a sensitivity to that. And you might have some gut issues. But if you're not mixing it up, your protein sources, vegetables, things like that, you might not be able to uncover a very simple solution, which would be like switch out the chicken for lean turkey or something like that. So you can kind of just miss some things, I think. And you don't really get a full spectrum of learning and education that way, which is why I think we kind of say it's not a long-term approach. So,
and you can use it intermittently as basically when you're starting out, it's a really great place to start. And then as you kind of graduate in your, you know, like trusting yourself and knowing what to eat, knowing how much to eat, you can you can transition off of that into a more, you know, flexible kind of plan. And the one thing too that's really great, so you guys know I work with First Form, and so the transformation challenge that they have every year, it's a year-long thing. It's absolutely amazing. It's a community of people who are, you know, hey, I want to make a change in my life, right? And a lot of people are just starting out, and there are different options now with what you can do. So basically you get a free diet and free training, right?
Amazing.
Now there are, like, it is an app, so if you want to have like a little bit of the extra stuff, it's like a few bucks a month. So it's like $3. But for the, definitely download that app and definitely be a part of the transformation challenge. I'll link that below. But on the meal plan option, because I was wondering, I was like, how are they going to do meal plans for people? Like, right? Like that's kind of...
Everybody's so different.
Everybody's so different, like their body weight, their goals, whatever. So basically when you sign up for this, it's like body weight, you know, height, goals, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? And then that will spit out the macros that you need. But then if you have the meal plan option and you say, hey, I want 5 meals a day. For the meal plan option, you click and it says like protein, and then you have rotating options that you can choose from, and it tells you how much. So it's not like, you know, so I think that if you have a flexible meal plan, you can manage that a little bit longer. And again, they're all, it all boils down to the same thing, but you have to know kind of yourself and know how am I going to be able to make progress best. I find that this was another thing I found from my study, was that when people who had been doing flexible dieting for so long, and then they got put on the meal plan, that's when they were like, this is really restrictive, I don't like this. But again, that, you know, you can interchange that as needed, depending on your goals and depending on what you're doing.
I find too, for myself, it can go that way for sure with like competitors and things like that, but also sometimes with competitors, like we talked about, if you're going from a flexible dieting approach and it's kind of like too much, especially as numbers start to dwindle a little bit, you're like, what can I fit in here? Sometimes going a little more structured can be good, like we said earlier. And then I did want to touch on what Lauren just said with the transformation challenge, with kind of like giving you options. Because I will be having my license, I will be able to create meal plans like legally. And with that, something that I kind of like to have set up on my computer is kind of a grocery list. And then if you break down a meal plan for somebody, also sending them like these carbohydrates sub out for these carbohydrates. These proteins sub out for these proteins. So it gives them, it's the same exact thing you just said, having a rotating list so that people don't have to really think about it themselves, but they can still get some variety. Because if you just throw one thing at somebody, it's not going to last.
They're not going to know how to handle that in any other situation besides that. And that's where we see the meal plans fail, because, oh, hey, I've been eating on this plan for so long, and then I go to a restaurant and they don't have this exact cut of this, and I don't know what to do. And they start, you know, then they have a total breakdown and then eat 10,000 calories. And you're like, whoa, that's not, what happened? That's not the goal. So those are the pros and cons to meal plans. There's obviously so many more, but that is kind of our stance on them. They can be really great, and then they might not be good for you either. So viewer discretion, you pick. Viewer discretion is advised. You guys have to pick what is best for you. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys have not yet subscribed to our newsletter, definitely do that.
Knowledge Bombs on Wednesdays.
It's pretty awesome. We have 2 emails a week. We get a free workout, free Metcon every Sunday night in your inbox. And then Wednesday is some educational content that we put together. So you can go to teamlocofit.com to subscribe, and you can also apply for coaching.